She bit
mouth.
your hand.
Yes.
Surprised you again, I suppose.
Yes.
Oh, indeed. As you're squatting on top of her.
I was not on top of her. I
Not
was
on-
beside her.
You were beside her. There was enough room for you to be beside her?
Yes.
Even though she'd tumbled straight behind you?
She was not behind me. She was in front of me.
She was in front of you now. My understanding was that you were backing in. So she just slid under your feet?
No, I was not backing in.
Well, you weren't backing in. I understood you went in first.
I went in first.
You went in first. Did you kind of just twirl her around?
No.
How did she get in front of you?
She got in front of me by slipping.
By slipping. She
And
slipped around you.
She slid. When she slid down, she then completely slid across my body.
Across your body. So you're standing there and she's just kind of slipping past you. You're kind of jammed up against the fence. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. As you say. Okay, she's now got your hand in her mouth. Gnawing on it pretty good?
She is biting on it very, very hard.
Very hard. Feeling some, what was your feeling at that point?
Well, I was feeling some pain.
You're feeling some pain. Were you angry?
Not really, no.
No? Somebody bites your hand? Somebody's trying to take the documents that might mean that you never see your children again? You're not angry? You're still thinking coolly, going through all these possibilities?
Yes.
My
Yes.
goodness,
Still
you're
trying to be cool.
still trying to be cool.
Trying to think calmly.
Still trying to
Going
think
back-
calmly.
back-
I'll say
back to my
while
training.
you say your wife is gnawing on your hand, trying to get away this folder that you think is so important that you're willing to risk physical injury to your wife.
I was avoiding any kind of physical injury. Was taking steps all along to avoid physical
She's
injury.
already tumbled to the ground. If you'd simply let go of the grass, tell her that you're going to let go of the folder, let her stop away, then you would have avoided any possibility of physical injury.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. You make a lot of assumptions, Mr. Funk.
It still wouldn't have resolved the situation.
To your satisfaction.
It wouldn't have resolved the situation about her taking the children and my not seeing them again.
You were assuming a lot of things, Mr. Funk. Did she state at any point that you will never see the children again during this altercation?
No, she has stated
No,
She has stated so previously.
stated so previously, so you state. So you state.
That is my testimony.
That's
Truth.
you have said that, Mr. Funk. Okay, so we've got her hand in your mouth. Her hand's in your mouth. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, her hand is in your mouth. Is that correct?
My hand is in her mouth.
Oh, your hand is in her mouth. Okay, my mistake. I apologize. Your hand is in her mouth. She's gnawing away on it mightily. I assume blood spurting out everywhere.
She is biting into it.
Biting into it.
At this point, I cannot tell whether she has broken the skin or not.
Even though you're thinking coolly and calmly at this point.
Well, there's
Not
no
a
way.
bit of anger.
There's no way for me to tell that whether she has broken the skin or not at this point. I cannot see any visible blood. But I am now at a mechanical disadvantage because my arm is extended out from my shoulder, and she is pulling further back and straightening herself out.
Couldn't let go of the folder at this point. She's not going to fall down any further. She's on the ground.
Well, if I let go of the folder at this point, then she is simply going to go back. She will go further back to the ground, and she will have a greater mechanical advantage, and will definitely be injurious to my hand.
So you assume.
That would be
So
my
you say
judgment.
that was your judgment. That's your assumption again.
No, it's my judgment.
It's your assumption, Mr. Ford.
It's my judgment.
Now you're assuming your judgment is valid in this instance. But never mind. Okay, we've got you on the ground. Your hand is in her mouth. She's gnawing away. And you're thinking calmly and coolly and collected, not a speck of anger. You're trying to resolve this situation so that you get everything you need and want out of it. So what do? What's your response?
To resolve the situation without injury or minimal injury to anyone, I determined that I needed to have some means of having Beverly open her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took since it was my right hand that was in her mouth,